Hey guys, if you're a swimmer on the Central Coast, then check out the video that we've got for you today. We're going to be talking to Brad Woodward. He is homegrown talent. He grew up at Shelley Beach. He represents Shelley Beach Surf Club and Mingara Swim Club, and he has made it all the way to the top of the sport. He has been an Australian Dolphin since 2018. He won 3 medals at the 2018 Commonwealth Games, 2 silver, 1 gold, and he's gunning for a spot on the Tokyo Olympic team. Brad has had to overcome injury to succeed in his sport and to perform at the peak level. Check it out and stay tuned for more.
A decent impact, I think. I've had a pretty severe shoulder injury in 2018 and that had a big impact for about a year there, and along with that, I had a few little issues with the other shoulder, and about 4 years ago I also broke my ankle, which had a little bit of an issue there. So I think with that, I had a few shoulder problems coming into the Com Games, or Com Games trials as well, and for me, I was so determined to make the team that I really think I ended up just swimming through it and probably not telling anyone that it was actually sore, because I didn't want to stop swimming at all. And I think for me at the time that was a good thing. I made Com Games, I did what I wanted, did a few PBs, but at the end of the day it probably impacted me for over a year, and probably after the Com Games I noticed that it got really bad a couple of days afterwards, and then I just went to the physio and it was just said that it has got a lot worse, and we went and got it scanned about a week later, and came back that I had a 2mm tear in the subscap tendon. So obviously from there I had Pan-Pac trials coming up, so we just had to look at rehabbing it and doing the best we could to try and get to those trials and get on the Pan-Pacs team. For me, basically we decided to try and make Pan-Pacs, but I was originally told by my physio that the turnaround between when I tore the shoulder and the actual trials, there was a fair chance that I wouldn't actually be able to even swim at that stage. But luckily I had such good support staff around me that we ended up recovering from the injury in about 6 to 8 weeks probably.
Yep.
Then put a few good weeks of training together and managed to actually PB at the Pan-Pac trials, and then make the team and go off to Japan. I think a lot of it revolved around gym. Yep. We were just strengthening the shoulder, doing things that wouldn't inflame it but would make all the things stronger, so making the scap a lot stronger. And for me, I'd never really done a whole lot of that stuff. I'd done bits and pieces but never really knew why I was doing it. And all of a sudden, I was more educated on it. Our physios was telling me why, and I think just having that information and knowing what I had to do helped a lot. And along with that was just a lot of the intervention before training. So just triggering around the subscap and into the subscap, and then getting my physio to look at it regularly and probably pop into him twice a week. I think for me, probably the big thing is I hated kick. So I was doing kick for a big period of time, and I think the lesson I got away with that was, I want to swim, and the more I swim, the better I will be. So having those big chunks of time where I can't swim, really does impact your performance. So I think for me, it's just always doing the stuff before training and after training to help your shoulder, and also telling my coach when my shoulder's sore. I think for a while there, I always kind of went, if it's sore, I'll just get through it, it'll be fine, and nothing will happen. And for now I've learned that lesson that things will happen if I let it go, and 1 or 2 sessions here and there for kick isn't too bad, but at the end of the day, if that helps 6 months of kick, it's a lot better. I think for me the big one would just be not to push through it. I think at times, especially when we're coming up to a big event, it's so easy to just say, it's not too bad and we'll just keep going. But I think noticing that something's wrong and then going and telling your coach and changing your program and then going and seeing a physio and seeking help helps you so much more. It'll help you in your swimming career, and I think your short-term gains from pushing through it definitely don't outweigh the long-term gains of going and seeking help. And I think the other thing is just always having that intervention before training. So I think triggering, stretching, doing your exercises and making sure that everything's strong and stable before you get in the water. Yeah, I think for me, I had a little break, so we had about 2 weeks when we found out the Olympic Games were postponed, and then straight after that, my big thing was, only doing a little bit amount of training and a bit of cross training, but making sure that I do the same amount of stretching, triggering exercises for my shoulder, because if I let that go for 2 or 3 months, when I come back to swimming, I know that I'll have problems. And realistically, we only have 9 months to the Olympic game trials. I can't spend 3 months rehabbing the shoulder. Hopefully to make the Olympic team. I mean, that's been my goal for the last 10 years, and it was a little bit disappointing this year that it's been called off. I was swimming quite well and had put up some good times, and I was in a good spot, but I think, from that I can just grow on it and, hopefully be putting up better times next year and, get myself on that Olympic team.